chia mu nyina no pay ngiri se bibia eye kama didi kan asina be konkomo na aso no eno ameti enigi sembi I don't know whether sa na tie dia se afede motua kase premix insensem mo ye free on sa na tie
omahin anope mechia wetifo no machia ti wa east for dodo na omo hweme na mafasa kwenye so
this where hospital no kwan no
in hospital yeah expansion no ewo inside hokakra and yeah wo another one yeah agenda 100 no yeah adaswase
se me wo se be ensuo yiri fa nurse for no free no mo da so
no yeah GGT health clinic and no dey me pacho ye see diamond ma ye free hoko ye free hoko another place yeah well protected say you eto a bibia science na making na me fasa kwenye so na me ni eti wa east for me peso asofo nyina ye so enche mo bete yen kan efa akwala leukemia no ho ade no ye be contribute a certain amount ye de be bre na mo so mo di ahwe no kre se aban de we si ne bu se obeye adwuma e de aboa ama ne manfo ho ahehe omo premix asem na wo kan no kre last week it was around 210 million Ghana cedis subsidies ko nsese yetua e premix one aban can free hose yenhwe na yentua na yenfa mo nti
we don't have that challenge
nti say otse sa dia no kre say aban etua
alright
so 210 million omode brayen aban emeki
okay so that's the most important good news for Christmas is important the ministry as so motimetu sa na mo we the person me no pay ni say enkomo aba ebidi di agro e border on Ghana isikasem ntutuye ne isikasem a nyoma bi no na na mu bisi basa no ene obeti ese haircut obeti ese debt servicing obeti ese saa nkomo akoso nyina no be so ogibre na o chirichiri mu na fa wi a kosan bia yenso ye pese ebusa no ya gibre e de ebusa na woso wabo eya no diaman ti saa isusuye no ananhyehyɛ no e de na ama na basa na de empa na mo pese mo nsaka
you medasi omahini o hwe ya budget ya 2023 budget ya the core parliament November no aban e ka se sa budget ya very peculiar budget peculiar budget any said
that budget ya danso ne danso
a eye any say ne dikan ye nyina obi entimi enwane from this fact that we are in a global crisis and also affecting domestically inti budget is being written or has been prepared in this context say your global crisis fuel prices are cost aduane boa cost there's war in Ukraine and Russia ama ho sunsuanso ebi aka wiase afa na nyina ene yankasa ye memu Ghana and ho sunsuanso na aba no ebi so ama yes ye fuel prices are cost inflation are cost aduane boa cost and a whole lot of things are affecting all sectors of the economy and that chain abino so in this context of this budget no abine IMF negotiations. The third one in this context of the budget no abine say hu sunsuanso ye buy free covid mrea besi na ye bo besia ama eka no akosoro no abine say mrea success say or the debts no e by sustainable level and into your sounding what budget nim say in the midst of global crisis and domestic crisis in the midst of an IMF negotiation we ought to also have some debt operations ebeboa ye sika ya bono ho ban and it says hwe your budget 2023 budget ma nsi hu aban etua aye interest for loans na yaje aye debts nyina ye wo fiti kwame nkoma mre ebesi enne bosia na ya bo fisa mre na besi enne hu si hu no nko a 52.5 billion Ghana cedis na wo hwe ne ye betua friend amortization principal na SSC yetua no so ye 22.3 billion Ghana cedis na wo hwe revenue nko a afi ye pese ye raise 114 billion Ghana cedis nti se wo ka nsi hu ene eka sese otua da ho enko a ebu 70% of tax revenue ya akwa akogide a ene na etwa se wo ye ne ebeboa na nsi hu ne eka ne nyina akofom na wenye sika ni bi so e de aboa aye ade foforo nso be boa ma oman no akonkan nti eno enti na aban hwe se ye be yes debt restructuring na ya boa na debt restructuring na aban si oye no enye eka no nko na opese eba form nti na oye menua sisi a ye ka say inflation e wo 40.4 that was the last inflation figure in October ye nyaye eni nti se wo investment e wo baby a already no wo investment na eda honom no value no is being affected by inflation rate no into already so wo investment be that baby a akano by the difference of coupon na rate now G before no and inflation na ye wo sisi ano into aban say by coming in to do sad debt restructuring ebe correcting markets ni nyina now one interest rates about to a level a year conducive for market transactions afa so ebe boa say interest rates eba form a businesses so omo nsihu omo de koje bosia no ebe ba form nioma so be den eso beti will increase production so enye se aban pese ono nko a e de pe no hwe but aban hwe the whole the effect on the economy and how you be improving markets no and into na aban e de debt restructuring iba na debt restructuring so aban e de ba no aban say debts and our bonds nyina ye wo no ye wo aban instruments no e be ye treasury bills na ye eno ye 91 days
because treasury bill na Ghana for the donor interest
yes treasury bills treasury bills need investments now koye na ye wo 91 days ye wo 81 days and ye wo 364 days na no na ye treasury bills no so bill so me treasury bill no me matter 182 day treasury bill we see matter a 91 day treasury bill matter 364 day treasury bill and no and na treasury bill na aba and no aban say your debt restructuring ye and no enka treasury bills into bibia or treasury bill no say be mature 2023 a nyame ya Adom na 2023 emre ne so a insi hu any sika odi shemu aban e de be ma senior or no edino no
minister we are sure with that statement because of course you need track to her.
Yes.
Say the beya everything you meet me as I
yes.
Say me coupon whether 180 days or 300 days or whatever days. Is there any sense who necessary but on 2023 na brain cry so
for treasury bills.
For treasury
yes. Onsa ebeka usika any insi hu and when you beka say the interest I had to so no onsa ebeka.
Okay. To uncommon so.
Secondly, aban say almost so top government bonds. Bonds no eno na ye 2-year bond, 5-year bond, 7-year bond. Aban eya obobesia in sa instruments so. Te be a 2-year bond, it be a 7-year bond, it be a 5-year bond. Aban say sa for ne so. Sa for ne so. Omo nka debt restructuring no.
Sa ipakuo no
sa bond almost so mukita bonds
metiase
sa ni pekuo no almost so ye yi o me free debt restructuring ye yi o me free debt restructuring na oma na afa so ne etoso miensa obi bia se wo ye institution se wo ye ankrankre ye individuals yes obi bia se wo ye institution se wo ye ankrankre udu sika akoto bonds yi bi no so sika na odi shame no so the 5,000 the shame a aban say that restructuring ya all ba be yi o principal aye o 5,000 odi shame no so ho enka
na sika suro na odi ko shame restructuring ho asem abe enya de be ka say
so obi bia just say uye institution odi ko shame so ye individual na odi ko shemu sa restructuring ni o principal ho enka na ne aban ede sesa kan say me ma wo bonds based on certain terms o turn based on a certain number of years I can tenor o turn based on a certain quantum of interest and a coupon aban say me pese me sesa sa term si amede ma se se okoji loan bia wo loan term sheet no aban ma loan term sheet e bia ukita 5-year bond ebe mature e bia 2024 nti aban loan term sheet ne se ukita 1 5,000 interest e bia ye 20% na ebe mature 2024 aban say sa bonds ni nyina me sesano me de a new term sheet eba na aban enyina o concert chinchina but o say e voluntary any said then or sell at the idea or the two more encourage you say no minor call the economy is in crisis na me gidi said nyoma bi say ye betimi aye de beboa nti aban say de okita no me de 4 different bonds may exchange the okita sisia no with 4 different bonds new bonds nye di kind no ebe mature 2027 the second one be mature 2029 the third one called 2032 now the fourth one called 2037
no wadaroma
mama nchemu because ho na hu hia pa say be chichimu na nkofo ate ase aban say eni nti say yemfa ne say wo 100 Ghana cedis wo 100 Ghana cedis na odi ama aban na nhihye na oni aban wo no ke no be mature 2024 aban say wasum na osesano amao ne sesa osesa amao ne say 100 Ghana cedis no sisi a say 2027 edura obetua emu 17% e na amao but the edi kan si hu no 2023 aban say ohwe ne nhihye ene nioma owo ye a ebe din say obetimi etua nsi hu eye coupon rate and as interest no the 2023 no in the new restructuring no dey ba na the new terms and term sheets na or dey ba for loan na wo waje no waje fi ho no ye di kan no eye 0% interest for 2023 insi ho no sanya mi di kan ka chiro nyome mu aye din we are in crisis
dinamiza
bacho
so Sansi say 2027 2029 2032 20 whatever
37
ni na ye kama aban susu se ebra e womin e ade a se meka se metua o sika no ama sa abre ya no beko ebe edi ama me na ada na aban sa beka kire me se sika aso se otua matro untua uwie ya de o sa betua no kura no o sa ka kire me se a certain percentage bi ana metua e ho na ama de na ma de basa
ye hwe aban ahoden ene sanye crisis yi amayen akofom sanye esebio manka ni ya chemebu be membu ni ye se yemfi prekope enye dey
employee na
yemfi ham yensi prekope
yensi sioma sania
ansania aban hwe nioma eda nanim within the next 5 years any sika obetimi raise wo hwe ye budget ma aban the revenue measures bebre abemu a ye hope say nyame be ya Adom parliament be approve revenue measures si e be boy ma ye increase ye domestic revenue a ye generate nanso ye di kan for the next 3 years aban any access to the international capital market inti sika na kane no na ye nya bosia na yetimi kwaje efri amanone no ebi eni ho ye revenue generation so ye low wo hwe ye important na West African sub-region na say ye na ye revenue to GDP ye very low ye 11% ya fo nyina ye around 18% nti aban hwe say in the medium term ye betimi ato ya fo ye mfofo no na yetimi akoenim but sisi a ye ntimi raise the needed revenue a ye hia na ye de edi djuma ne aban se ohwe na ho odin a ne na ho keka ebe din say 2023 no obetimi etua isi hu amaye
so tum se ye dru sa bia we esan se aban enso ne ntotoye ojeja ne ho kakra obaje atum
enye se aban ntotoye wejeja ne ho kakra menua ye nyina ye wo krom ha e na covid ebaaye aban ni so ade hu efa covid ne ho se sebio oman no economy no kra ebrasia onim kwan obefa so ebema economy na san back nenso sebe nipa hwe ne nkwa ebe den se obenyane owufuo abankwa nti ni obeye bia ode beboa ene wo hwe ya nioma ekọ form ene nti ye call parliament in 2022 eko review down your revenue expectations by 11 billion because near him say COVID no send a healthy businesses no. Now we're not going to get our revenue near targeted for 2020. Meanwhile, you ma be brave wa COVID-19 necessary nya say PPPs ni bi sanitizers you ma be brave nobody envisaged it into na any budget nim aban bo sa nyoma no nko ahoka more than 13 billion na was say Bank of Ghana so aban ase na was say nkonko ni ade nyina so aban ase say ye nyina ye bedi adanse ese sa nyoma weni ehu bida enu bi na nkofo adwuma bre ase aban ede so electricity mu ma yen aban ede so nsuo mu ma yen aban etimi ede employ more nurses ni etimi dia so sa yarewe ya no enu so ka ho ene yehu the success rate of your COVID no ene say nipa ehwe mo kamonya so sebe se na ye ka so pepepe a ombegu kwan so a ye nya bebi kwan fo mungu no nyame ama na masa
abonte so kasa ni bi ni say purely mismanagement, purely cooking up of figures, purely buying deliberately greedy or selfish. The expenditures, very irrelevant areas, less important areas. Flashy new man abuy we see a can kebi okasa unti. This is the conversation out there. Ebe den na tie ho asese there bi di kai kwabna de wokan say buying mismanagement enye no kresa de toso bi aban aso odinti ana odi abedu sam pempenso de toso abaye edufudepe ade ehun hiankwa na oye ana nyuma akese na wafa abonobo osususu yiniska de atosu bi aban expenditure okọ abankese ma nipa dodo aban gusufa nyuma bi wo kra ma na aban afa nipa na otu omuka any a whole lot of inti eduru anima okọ mountain so ebi ni masem omuka nyina say it was avoidable but for aswording any nyoma me pija ba kakra maybe would have a fantastic governance in the midst of all the challenges we are suffering now are affected because you pet no be because eh na ye de kasa te say ye nkwa na covid 2 ye kasa te say ye nkwa na Russia Ukraine
ye kasa te say ye nkwa na covid 2 ye kasa te say ye nkwa na Russia Ukraine asem eba ye nanso no kre ene say yes the economy structure no and te say baby for dia sebe obi ntia tax I mean abanya catching ebehu se nipa asumesi ana obenten onyeye eninti yenko je ye tax infringement
property rate ma
can reforms ni bia aban ede eba se ye di kan ye be digitize ye revenue collections no afesu ni improving on other collection revenues are yejeje to say property rates asem ya okay and na wo hwe budget 2023 ni ma aban any GRA any local government akam ho abom say ye ba with a unified property collection rate eno ebeboa na yetimi ajeje property rates na ewo miamia no ye last census ye hu say ye identify 8.5 million houses and inti aban the sad data we any GRA any other stakeholders are come ho abuma ye be di sa adwuma we ni enim se ye di sa adwuma we a ye be nya sika ama ye ja ewo center ho any say locals no no so metimi dia ye adwuma wo hwe budget ni ma aban hope say 70% of revenue ye be raise ye be ja ewo districts ne municipals ne metropolitan ho no so mo dia ye adwuma aboa esa aban so ho be den e be henhan no and inti sanyuma we nyina na ye enye se ye spend it large and ye live within our means but sebe unuanom nurse for ni teacher for awie school omo tifie o se aban se ye ntimi enform ana ye form nyina egumu eno se aban so eboa free SHS enye free SHS ya ebi a yetin kan na yeti hanum se ye but ukọ me honum a free SHS and free SHS nti ya bofra baako a na nka ebi enye no a na nka ontimi mpom besen ko Augustins wakọ we free kadoa so abesen ko Augustins enya 7 A's
wow
nti we impact, are looking at the aban ye nyina no ye be hunu in the medium term and the free SHS asesa conversation no 6-7 years down the line and over the weekend President Diadanse will share the quality of graduates are churning out at the SSC level very soon the least certificate ye betua as ye be kita as Ghanaians WASI certificate and yes who obi person oboa ne pa na so see me call GHS me nyo hwefo nti maka ho so that is the conversation we should be having say ebia within the next 8 to 10 years, the quality of our human resource is going to change. And it's as a result of our buying consistently, spending on free SHSR or the buano or the assessor. Within the medium term, you be say a lot of factories ebe springing up. Yeah, pay immediate returns, but new money now buying edi sikani new money in the medium term. One district, one factory, and there are 167 factories spread across the country. Within some few years, new money you rely on as imports. No, these factories will be able to produce one. A better your dependence on imports. So now a boy you see can who buy. Now your forex across why you kitano. Yes, so your boy who buy. And inti there's nothing like mismanagement. A buying taking advantage of COVID and making sure say districts are not caneno. Ayarisa bi eni hono obemma sa district ni ayarisa bi eni bi as Ghana ni what districts are uni hospital wo ho wo so kan ho bi na eso adenti aban se na may use this opportunity na ma hwe se many districts hospitals was safo ni nyina. You may think say it is big, but it is necessary.
Yes, but that's why I was coming to minister.
You may think say it is big, but it is very necessary.
No krepa na ka ehun ya pa, but the ye can say uti aban ni timpo e kama o ka kire say agenda 111 uko agenda ni mu a kire say bia e wo man Ghana mu bia no e se fata say nya hospital e wo a certain standard aban kroyan so ka kire say misi kasem enko yi but ni so ade ehun ni boom na me si kasem no so no e ho asem no e kwa atwe de to so asode ana ye ka ho asem Ghana fo binum nsusuye ne say na e-levy ba. Oh, mon chance ye free haka krama na kakra ye ti ase a na nka etim dia kwa anim. Abansis there be they say we asisi kono. Ye pe internally how ya be see afa so betimi generate enough revenue. Ye de abu o man no. Ghana force there be ye wa hohiahiem nti ye ntimi nhia mo 1.7 e bi kura mo mra form kakra. Abansis there be minti. Na no mahwere busumi nsia. Na sika mo hwe bi
say
aban antie Abentie ya maybe nkan unchi ni wane ntokwa ne kasa ni de
because the edikaino na aban pe 1.75 abentie ye no na ba 1.5 and na aban so high
aban sika if we say nchinu e ba hono busumi ahodu etwa mu nyina na nka aban de sika de baby ade papa bi
e de me kan say abentie ye na ba 1.5 aban amane nsi ho aban so ne telcos ni din kita ho na omo de so by 0.25 and inti aban etie ye and ye ka say ye ma ensi ho a ye be koso ye stakeholder consultations ni a share how best ye betimi raise revenue ma ye ho all said and done minua etwa say yankasa yetimi raise revenue for the developments na ye hia no and inti kwan bia aban be fa so a obeboa na sai ni so ade hunu aba na enye de bia na ye be depending on nkrofo sika omso metua mo man na omo de aboye mbesia yenso yentimi raise ye de na yenso yentimi fa nya adwuma enti aban tie ye aban wie ye na san call round ye ne bebre na edinkita ho ene aban se oteso aba 1% na ya hwe se be improve on ye revenue generation na aban we ya aban oti asem na nkonti asem a bia na nkenne ka oni ha we san so otie enti ene ya ba ye san abeka chem se bebre no maka chen bebre na yafa se bia nyeni nyina na mo ka chen yetimi fa ba bebre ni yafa ba sisi a ye wo ye mamu no we are in a crisis ye wo how ni ahochire mu esan se nioma enkose ne ye nyina ye hwehwe se ebekọ no nanso meye aban no migina me na so se kwan se nhyehyɛ se na migidi si ye na me de boa ye man ne besan epeje biom eni nti sa debt restructuring a ye ka ho asemi ye aban ni so ade hu se ye de be correct market no because si a ye ka se 100 cedis e wo ye mfa npo se treasury bills a na ebia o interest that so ye 10 and 20% already inflation edi o 20 no because inflation si a ye 40. Anything na buying kase mumwani nyina yen correct markets no and we can only correct the markets with some of these measures no and it's yesremo enye nhye eye voluntary yembu attorney general na sem no okan no anto antwene attorney general no hyehye no ka che nsentin kebe ya yen go through the voluntary routes and no na ya ye de adisrede abeto Ghana fo enim se ebeya ye nyina yen get it on board. Jamaica for ye bi, and it was successful. Nipa over 99% and they agreed to the voluntary in Shishena on debt restructuring.
But Minister, there's a certain level of, I think, mistrust. Unfortunately, there's a certain level of mistrust. Into buying issues here, the trim papa or the benino. The commitment to that in Shishena, I had dear Magana for not necessarily this administration, but a growing graph beer. Emma obi beye amanyunia se ampa okana kurekura kire Ghana for na akoye den se ebekwa kudi san hihye no so because it's voluntary but clearly if sense of patriotism was say the deputy minister obeka no pay kire me se baby edu na ban na gia to me se ye wa honyenyem wada ma wa na odu sika akoto fa fem kakra bi na brebi enyina ntimi hye no bi ne sambra ba but sa gidie no eni ho two meye we nyina be wie no na me aban nyoma bi a oya o sem se me mfa me amo ase ne moma se yie no be una sa aban kro no anso na montu bi a otu no I had to say the o hwe mani maka kire me se be minim de meye e ho ne e hawo kakra e bi se utie nso a me ma revi se ye wo propaganda system nim ye wo political misrepresentation because of maybe for whatever reason.
Yes.
So what I say. Yeah. Ana ebinum so botai ne se Ghana be kɔ kan ne de enye yi da because me no ka say enkomo ayi di migiri se nipa dodo na akoma e ba from kakra because mirika ebinum di akɔ mo banks e di pressure akɔto banks de so no I no so akɔfa ho nkomo foforo but I'm sure mo ti ministry amote e di ehu aba wonte ye kɔna kɔ usika aba we di one anya careful a o de usika be dwa nanka when it gets to that point it's difficult to come and talk to us for us to understand where you are coming from. That is all. The mistrust is growing too much.
Yehubi, mra na ye di free SHS ba. Omuntimi nye because ebi a in nipe bi adwemu no eso. How will we do it? But minua ye nye di adanse say and consistently from 2017 BC and even po ye wa ahochie mu kra ban say some policy we dia beboa sebe esikafo ne hiafo ma nyina na ama bring some equality on the table no minyai and into the make ne say ye nya rehemu e wa aban mu se ne wo kan ye ne omani bi ye nya e ka say it's sisi a baby a yedu no is a matter of burden sharing. You give some abances so ebe maybe and you be yanko forecast na in the budget recently we say aban ka say we cut it down on expenditure na NAPCO aban spending close to $1 billion Ghana cedis on NAPCO nko and the 2023 budget NAPCO enim aban cut it down on some of the flagship programs agenda 111 yesha ase no say na make an ye pese ye wo every district sisi aban cut down the number district bia benya ne de na so 2023 budget nim ye nya ni nyina prekope into hwe budget nim a efutu amode mayen say yen cut down ye expenditure na ye nyina ye burden share what baby asisi a bibia ye wo mi nyina aban hwe say obeye ne sa eni tin kakran ye nim say baby ye du no nyoma maye den but mu benya rehemu wa aban mu say so otimi eye mra na impo ye ni sikapudo no po yetimi hwe eye free SHS ama ya sustainia besi na munya gidi we mu se that exchange ne de ban ye gidi se eno na munyina mo boan ne ye a ye di kan ye nsi ho a ye tua no ebe kofom na se kofom a sika na ye raise no ye betimi di bia ye mpuntujuma a ye nkobo besia emfa nye mpuntujuma.
Well, my guest nimnya for Abena Osei Asare, a deputy minister finance and energy ko purely yebesi ati omo hihye na omo de banase se de be ya yegiremu na se ye kasa menumiri na yebeti ase ne anko kika ne oma de ayem hihye ne eye hoye bia beba. Lot of text messages but I'm sure probably I'll give a certain minute to a phone at your phone. But Tola or Tamale or say good morning to beautiful deputy minister Michelle Memetia Menimoy me enya brain ye kasa ahon ya anzu mi wo hu se fitiara pa betra mi answer mami musa question ma kwa na fe minister Mensi many blessing. Good morning to let her hammer on the treasury bill issue again. Also, what if someone buys new treasury bill within the year of 2023? Will the debt restructuring affect it? Or the next person?
Maybe I'll show you. Treasury bills, no send you no. Treasury bills, sad debt restructuring, yeah, and cannot say Ochina and as 2023, Ukoto treasury bills so and so consistently and cannot. Now share and this week be auction treasury bills obibia or pese or dinisika ebo buying besia or treasury bills find a house obeye so 2023 suju na so pese oye bia ene de enka ho na ni nyina ye bosia wo de bo aban say aban in the short term no onfa nye adwuma na onfa moa ma ye man no enko nkan.
Kofia is used to say the IMF program, even after 3 years, will not bring any significant improvement because of extensive damage by Nanado's government.
You, Medase, near ye can say, and ye IMF program ne pe ena ye de buama ye economy structure no akonkai. Ushe ye budget nima are buying a 7-point agenda a post-COVID economic program are binding by. Ye di kindness are buying see or per se. Or aggressively or mobilizing domestic revenue and any revenue measures nibia ya sha sia ye de aba budget nim aban so per se or be rationalize expenditure because ye cut down your expenditure will be able to live within our means near tosumiensa aban so per se be boosting local productive capacity and say na afis obe promote and diversify exports o share budget we mu aban say ye per se ye reduce your consumption or your dependence on imports and inti why ye asase acres 110,000 acres ready or person focusing on rice any maize and poultry production sa nyoma we nyina ejidi se ye aban pursue nyoma we be cut down ye consumption on imports na no so aboa and afi so aban se person protect the poor and the vulnerable and sisi a ye wo mi crisis here ya be mu and you said the poor and the vulnerable they've been hit hard by sa crisis into sure aban say obeto so with school feeding to in to the tune of 3.6 million children and now face on mani nsi hwa so obeboa na wato sika na de marketers nim amomo so omenya bibi kakra aka ho aban so say leap no oye no and afase we increasing by 100% because onimu say and sebe crisis here be yenuanu bi have been hit hard by it inti as I say ohwe na oboa and afei so aban sisi oba implement structural and public reforms and ni na wo hwe budget ni ma ewom say sisi a GRA ye be call the full hall of digitization ya started with e-VAT no ya started with tax clearance certificates are filing online as you see the tax clearance certificates no and boa na ye de agege nyuma be say bia enche o your passport or your driver's license because I say be say utimi kaka utimi wo passport bia na wo ye adwuma and internet twa say obetua ka ube tua o taxes sa nyoma we nyina eye nyoma ejidi say even beyond the IMF program no ye be ye na de aboa na de pagya ye man and inti we are not just looking at the IMF program. No, beyond the IMF program. This is what we want to do.
So Emmanuel or East Legon say interest on all bonds in 2023 zero. Also, but quickly, back or say, thank you very much, Omaini, for the answer from the minister. My heart is now cool. Tola Otamala say bond, treasury bill, the buy. And the Emmanuel say interest on bonds in 2023 zero na obeso te hona si dinti na basa
me di kan say aban e wa ahochiem o hwe 2023 World Bank for IMF for AFDB for they've had to come back to usually every year before the year ends no we put out growth expectations and they've come to revise 2023 in 4 times because omunyi say 2023 send nyoma aircon nyuma mbeye din and inti aban ankasa so ahwe na hoodin no we hu say 2023 no ebeye din say obetimi atua nsihu ama bosia waje efrim ho in the form of bonds no obetimi atua nsihu and inti na as part of the debt restructuring no aban eka say me pese me formalize bia me pese me ye ebia mint ya no man kan che na fe dia kofa yem hyehye aba na wanhwa across say your financial institutions nti aban say me I'm being open, I'm being transparent. 2023 me hwe ma ho odin na me hwe ma ho keka ne nioma ekoso e be den say metimi etua nsi hu amaw but 2024 no me hwe ase etua 5% na 2025 no 10% kosi say bonds na ewo ye ho no maturity date no period no ebeso in 2037 no. But 2023 the aban say me hwe me ho ene ne esese me ye ene se Ghana for so nyina so esese nioma ekoso a ebe din say metua nsi hu no ene nti na aban de adesrede atu enim say ye nyina voluntarily yembra onto the debt restructuring na odi atu enim no na ye ntimi nsesa ye mama.
So as it stands now your debt to GDP ratio no on my ejira
he on my hine your debt to GDP ratio say uyi other state institutions no other special purpose vehicles are set up every mu sisi aye kase as of September na 75.9% of debt to GDP ratio but aban say they be a pain na yakwa IMF nyina no we don't consider your total debt, we only look at central government debt but aban say nti no say me per se me year structural reforms and part of the structural reforms is say me ka me din nyina bom the year state or the special purpose vehicles or me ka nyina bom na afei me siesia na me siesie ni nyina prekope na me siesie bi na me nje bi hwe 2015 ye ko IMF no central government debt pe yamfa cocoa board debt anka ho yamfa esla debt anka ho but aban say as part of the structural reforms na me ye no afi na yen sign ko na yen sign emba no me de eka ni nyina eka ho nti de eka ni nyina aka ho an 105% of debt to GDP ratio but say ye yi state institutions eka no efri mu ye yi esla efri mu ye yi dachi efri mu a say na de bia kane no ye no dia sisi a me no kase ya September figures na by debt to GDP ratio is 75.9%.
Emu oremu say emu orem kakra who kakra
Osha 2017 akosi 2019 na your debt to GDP ratio is 61%. ECOWAS threshold is 65%. So we were within the ECOWAS threshold until COVID ebaya trase ye bobesiano nti ne akosrosano. But prior to 2020 and 2019 we were within the ECOWAS threshold of 65% of debt to GDP ratio. But senior mekan no enya be wie de ebesi no aba but aban say mentna say anamo say na me pese bitu amebo ebeboa ama yetimi eji eka no podo na efri honom na yetimi yes our debt restructuring here your debt to GDP ratio no ebeba form to 55.5% by the year 2028.
Okay, so maybe we are a bit afraid for Bakubia. Who peja grab a Republic Press here? I know some more can come on your mushia. Me person NDC for the count because more a specific interest I in him just to come to power to also manage the country. Until we have these unions are already a certain force be Asian, that force of disagreement. A kwambe na unu minister ni waban mo faso na mo faso ebe boa say kuku ahodo mo very relevant bodies ombe hu aban tiri mo pono matiase yi say nya ne boneso na mo aban say no pese o ye ma nipa dodo na ho hare no because ya anya ntema nso ano a agi buma tiri mpono hwehwe papa ni nyina na ebe sa go back to settings factory settings e dey na ya fa
yo me da say eno anu waka no say bibia eye nkitahudie ya hye nkitahudie na se sebe untimi nka se wewie ni nyina ye di kan se ne kan ni regulatory bodies ni hyiaye na ye ne national insurance for hyiaye asset manager hyiaye financial institutions no ompanifo ni di kan ni o mehia enra a make say any social partnerships so Asia social partnership no made up of employers TUC chamber of communications yani omu nyina Asia ye na ye roll out jumedie echiro mu any senti a yes and Thursday yenim say TUC for so eye nkitahudie ayegidi say omo beto nsa frɛ na yenso so yakɔhɔnom ne onima kodi nkita ho saa unions nyina ebe make sure say ya church omu nyina ase na ya mom arehyemu say at the end of dwumedi aye di nyina obi a ho nka obi bia wo sika wesie a etwa se wo nsa eka wo sika se wo ye pensioner se wo ye ebia wo sebi keke as an investor obi bia wo nsa beka megidi se ye koso edi nkitahudie ya ebeboa bebre next week ye share council of state enne amene wo kase ye share civil society organizations no mu nyina ye ni o me design nkitaho no
we share essential for the way say dey so betia sese betima edi nkomoni ya chem na mo dem kwa
em se da bi o
mo kwa no mo je sisemu na ese ye no kakra na ye nim ye be council na ebia mo so mo kam se mo mra na ye nkyerechire mo na mo ntia se mo hia nyimaku o mo ho hia yie pa ebe wi achi ne ye ne ye nso ebetena ha de aban hye ne trimpo aba mu hye da be
enche ye be hia mo de wo mu ne se me se enne ya select incentral for any media partners be 50 ye sure
ko mo sa ntiti ene adisira no
ye eni omuhia e wa lisa ye de onu be fa santiti nyina mu na the next batch of media practitioners so ye ni o mafem senya make nkita hudie ye nye enwie dia kosi se ya church obie mu am obi bia atiase megidi se eye ntiase a eni honti na to de bia ebinum eyem ehhehye omo na se ne ye ba ha se uma ya kwenye ni ye be church enum mu se ye be wiase na bebre akoma abafo mehu se enye se ne bone so na emu se ne yie mu die se mimi sika kra eda ho mebo ho ban because see na ye kase debt restructuring bia enko so enne ukona ukoji usika because of inflation into usika ne value na eden atia
so there shouldn't be any rush.
Yes into ka ye be stress mo be twen mo na aban hyehye ne nsusuye na or dey back through the debt restructuring no ma twen na makomu eno saa no mo be nya the real worth of musika no na face so mo aboa mo so ma contribute as part of the burden sharing ma contribute to making ye my better.
Okay, so ya maame nimnyam for Abena Osei Asare ana enkomo twene ba wi ya nesa nipa ba ko bi wunya kwanya bia betu so ordinance metwa to beba 0302 211 701 ekosi 4 0302 211 701 ekosi 4 na enkomo ya bo ha no se ni de ntia na sa enkomo we no ehia kese pa ne se wanti ase yi na uti de dodo na ka wa we ya dimrika na wakutu mrika boni bia eche na wanya no se osusu se oni aban so nya adwena adwena awokoso awoto ato no eno ana ebebo ama bibia ti because 0302 211 701 ekosi 4 Rafi wadarama why so lucky and privileged yet you but you are just so
let you radio on the make a public water your ministers no any government on which the cancer there and someone more and somewhere corner and no one but you shit your man as well and your man on the cancer mama always say some way yes yes but they couldn't mother could do that you know then your man as well as you I man no men yes your man ever because when someone minister you okay what kind of the baby you know go there every come because go do there 1 year time but I was
okay that's it Sammy Pacho for you try to quickly enough minister wrap up my Sammy Sammy quickly
yan mpenefo yana mpembebre no ye from honorables now so in summer omokano it is not honorable asema okay what can they do but on the ground I have a bond the friends almost semi in kasemo okam enye no kure.
Okay, so to what say na ye pe no o my practical is na odi nchirimu aba wadaroma okay off minister just quickly wrap up now
you me pese the edi kan kwa debt restructuring ye starting ye enti se o kasa nsem ne ye kan enye no kra entiase eni because ye nsha ase kra na me kasa sisi a o kasa o kono akwa akwaji usika o investment will be affected because our bonds no and na hokeke almost so mu di juma financial institutions they trade with these bonds and it to be affected by the rate of inflation sisi aye kase nti e bia ukona ukoji ni sisi a unya ne sese ne wode kotum because it's been affected by inflation and nti na ban say uma ye nyina ye moa voluntarily na ye mra onto this debt exchange no ye born to this debt exchange ye be correct sa ne nyina the economy will grow, interest rates will come down, inflation will come down, and then we'll have real value for
okay Minister mama na wase minim se nkomo de ni obedia ko premise na
mama emphasize akwenye so and me nkofo nyina iti wa isifo ase na afi so me nhwehye me nua ketoa Kofi Twinebo Aboaten a happy birthday na ye birthday me bon pai se nyame nhia no no nkoso enye de se ne fata e wo nyame
happy birthday wa oji brehwe so grateful I appreciate it Minister say nkomo e be koso dia nti ko akoma to ye ehu bia no nyame admechna we are meeting here thank you so much for your time